1954. It's been 9 years since American GIs returned home from World War II with a new affinity for European culture. In just 2 short years, Lucy's Italian movie, one of the most popular episodes of I Love Lucy, would hit the airwaves and add fuel to this Italian obsession. America's passion for all things Italian is burning brightly, and the automotive industry is adding a little fuel of its own. This is the 1954 Dodge Firearrow IV.
I think that the designs that were coming out of Italy in particular were very appealing to an American. So I think when Chrysler decides to go off and look for a coach building company, to go over to Europe, especially the Italian designers, and try to do something with some concept car series, it makes a lot of sense. Remember, these are making their runs of the car shows. And so you have millions of people that are coming in to look at these models and being excited by that look.
By 1954, the auto show circuit was laden with ultra-modern space-age concept cars. Chrysler wanted to take a different approach and stand out from the futuristic flock. The Firearrow IV's Dodge chassis wasn't unique, but its design was. This luscious body was handcrafted by famous Italian coach builder Ghia, but not before being penned by legendary automotive designer Virgil Exner.
Exner is an interesting guy because he studied art at Notre Dame, then goes off to work for Raymond Loewy, the great industrial designer who did everything from Coke bottles to locomotives. He moves to Studebaker after that, and then winds up at Chrysler. And he has a certain design style. A lot of the designers do. They're very much like a good art historian could look at a piece and go, oh, that's so-and-so. Once you get familiar with a designer's work, it's rare that you can look at something and attribute it to somebody else because they have certain styles to them, and Exner does. And you can still see some automotive and airplane-related elements to his cars. I think one of his big features is you can look at the big long hood, and that's an Exner feature.
By the time the Dodge Firearrow IV was designed, Virgil Exner's brushstrokes were prominent on the canvas of the automotive design world. This Rosa Italiana was the 4th and final member of the famed Dodge Firearrow family. Every Firearrow design is unique, but there is a strong genetic resemblance. Of the 4 Italian-inspired designs, the Firearrow III was the only hardtop. Because of this, the Firearrow IV's closest relative was actually the Firearrow II.
There are differences and similarities between them. What strikes me as maybe the biggest similarity is this large jet intake for the radiator. You saw that almost identically on the Firearrow II, but no wing in the middle. Now we just have the open space. Dual headlights here. Again, we're getting closer to a production car. No front bumper, but pieces that could be at some point. Some very modern marker lamps up front. Some interesting features on the side of the radiator cowling, those double metal pieces, which I think add some interest and visual appeal to it. Very comfortable bucket seats to sit in, and every time you look over there, you get that kind of 50s feeling looking at that diamond pattern. Neat little feature in the middle of the steering wheel is this little clock, which I'm not sure what the mechanism is supposed to do, but it's very interesting. We are at the very back of Firearrow IV. So you have a couple of things that are of interest here. Again, really no back bumper. It's a concept car, so that feature isn't here to keep the back end looking clean, but you do have the beginnings of a back bumper with these features. The Tail lights are again very interesting because they have, of course, the red lens here, but another kind of space-agey feature with this chrome element right in the middle of them. And also here are those double exhausts, one on top of the other on each side.